speaking a little bit more about how everything has changed and how his perspective has changed. In the past, the way the Indians looked at me, they looked at me as, I can tell you, I used to feel people. I used to feel humanity. And I'll tell you, the way the Indians looked at me, they wanted a strong warrior. They valued strength. And it was almost like they didn't really care what I did. If I said mate, they would just grab a woman, mate, and she would be fine with it. That's just what they did. And back in the day, if I said kill the weak. In fact, at times I felt like some of the Indian chiefs and some of the people actually expected me to kill the weak. Like, what do you, and actually looked at me or felt about me like, what are you doing not killing these weak people? These weak people are going to slow us down, and you know it. And it was weird because, they almost expected me, they almost were upset that I didn't tell them to go kill those weak people. Because one, they knew that those weak people would slow them down. And two, because it also made me look weak. I don't really think so. I think they just accepted it, that I wasn't going to kill the weak. But it's weird because if you knew, like I said, back in the day, humanity wasn't as complex as it is now. People might look and say, oh, shock, blah, blah, this and that. But humanity in the past was very much basic. You kill the weak and you survive. And that's the kind of leader that they wanted. And that's what they expected. And that is 90 degrees from some present day. And I worry because I may have done things in the past that humanity today won't understand. Or won't understand that that was just what they did back then. And that was the best way to survive. And that's how you survive. And also that not killing those people may have caused other complications later on. Like if a group is too slow and an animal eats the group, then those weak people just killed the rest of the group. Now, anyway, so like I say, it's very complicated. If you were there, if you knew where I was before, like I said, all these like E and no and oh God kind of things, those are all complicated emotions that have come about because I thought that it might be a good idea. I thought that maybe, and I even kind of shaped humanity in a way, in that I thought, well, maybe we should be more understanding. Maybe we should try that. And so, like I say, back 4,000 years ago, you just grab a woman and you just go down on her. That's the way it was. And the woman accepted it. It's fine. I'm the one that said, well, maybe that's not a good idea. And that's my fault. Or not my fault. Like, it's kind of weird to think that if you understood how humanity was, if you knew how humanity felt, if you could feel humanity, then you would understand. Anyway, but that's why I worry about my past. I worry about what's in that book about my past. Because I don't know what I did back then. I'm too different now. I've changed too much in humanity, and humanity has changed me. And that's really how it is. So, that's why I say it's weird for me. So, where was I? Anyway, though, when I was a child, when I was in the moment, I don't know, I could have shaped humanity any way I wanted. But I thought that this would be the best way. I thought humanity as it is now would be the right way to go. And in some ways, a lot of things like protecting the blind, protecting the infirm or people with hurt legs has greatly increased humanity's survivability and also greatly increased humanity's abilities. Also because other people, I don't know, maybe they respected the fact that I saved them. I respected the fact that I'm not sure. You know, maybe they're thankful that I saved their life. Maybe they're thankful that I paid for them to get healed and ordered people to heal them. Like I said, in the past, if you killed 75 people trying to figure out how to fix a broken leg, well, that's just the way it was. You know, humanity doesn't really understand where I was at, where they were at. You can't. You might be able to rationalize it, but probably not. And that's why it scares me to look in those books and to kind of see the person I might have been before. I would hope that I was still kind of like I am now, but I know that that's not really exactly true. I was a lot more I wasn't as feeling. I wasn't quite as understanding. And the weird thing is that humanity was okay with that. In fact, they wanted me to be that way, which is why it's really weird. So they wanted the leader. It's weird to think that 4,000 years ago they wanted the kind of person to be like, those people are slowing us down, kill them, and people would just, and that would have been that. And they would have grabbed the meat, or even better yet, they would have said, okay, all right, those people, okay, eat them. And they would have ate them. Just like that. And they would have been fine with it. I would have been fine with it. Everything would have been fine. And it would be logged in the record. 835 people today. Week. There we go. Tasted stringy. That's the way it was. Now, people can't really understand that. I know that. And maybe some other people know that too. And I worry that I might have made those kind of decisions. But, hey, that's what being a leader is about, really. But I tried to change that, and humanity changed. And that's why it's kind of weird to see, like, humanity be like, oh, yeah. It's like, do you know where we were? Do you know how you felt about me 4,000 years ago when I didn't want to kill the weak? Do you know how they felt and what they said? Like, they thought I was crazy. They thought that maybe they were following the wrong person. But saving those weak actually helped out in other ways, and eventually people came around. I was like, you're going to come around. Don't worry. And even the weak ones might have been like, hey, why are you saving me? You know this isn't a good idea. But I was like, no, we're going to save you regardless. If we can't protect you, then we're not good enough. We just have to do better. And believe it or not, after about 1,000 years, people actually rallied to my back again. At first they were unsure. But then things started to change and people came back to my side again, which is really weird. And that happened about 3,000 years ago, where people were like, maybe we should follow another leader. And then they saw my community, because I broke off from some other people. I was like, all right, well, me and this group is going to go protect these people. That's it. We'll find a way. And my group was like, yes, we're the best. We're going to do it. And they did. They protected them. And those infirm, weak, blind people actually helped out in other ways. And that was a substantial change in humanity again, too. And that's something that you don't know that I do.